and welcome back to Build Propulsion Lab at Devoxx UK. Come to you live from London, and my next guest is Mark Sells. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. What an awesome place.
Oh, thank you. And Mark, you are from Amazon, from Amazon Web Services in particular, and working on AWS Lambda.
Yes.
For me, that's one of the most exciting projects in the entire AWS
thank you. I agree.
suite, because productivity. Build Propulsion Lab is all about developer productivity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I find Lambdas as being one a huge leap towards developer productivity when we talk about programming models.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I've been really interested in. I've been a developer all my life. I've been coding for, I guess, nearly 20 years now. And I've always been, wanting to get back to, doing my work and not having to do the stuff that I don't like to do. I like hacking away, building cool things. I don't want to have to deal with, security, scaling, vulnerability management and stuff like that. I just want to do what I enjoy and get on with it. And I guess that's where I've been really pulled into Lambda. And I've always been a Java developer, and Java and Lambda have not always had the best of times. There's been this problem with what we call cold starts, where the performance at the beginning of usage is always a bit slower than continual usage. And that's something that I've been really...
Before we dig into that, let's take a step back, right? For people who are not aware, what is AWS Lambda?
Yeah, absolutely. So Lambda is a serverless compute service. So this is where you can deploy your application to AWS and offload a lot of the activities that are kind of the stuff that you don't really want to be worrying about. So, patching of a server, the scaling characteristics of your server, managing runtimes like Node or Java or .NET, and really getting back to just running your code. So you upload your code to AWS Lambda. That determines which servers your code will run on, and it automatically scales those servers and the number of servers that you have in order to meet the traffic requirements that come in.
So basically what you're saying is you write a piece of code and you just deploy it out there without any, how do you say, there is a term for that, like any, not bureaucracy, there was a better term for that. Like
undifferentiated heavy lifting is what we say.
Right,
the heavy lifting of deploying stuff and getting servers ready.
Right.
Is what people don't want to do.
None of the procedure, none of that. You just write code and you say run it. Yes. Basically, just go ahead and run it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is extraordinary because you don't need all the boilerplate around it. But this is where we actually come to what you mentioned previously about cold starts and what's not. What the platform is going to do is it needs to run it from scratch every time you need it to run.
Yeah.
For example, if it's in response for a web request,
yes, exactly,
or some time-based execution, it needs to start it, run it, shut it down. Not your typical Java scenario.
Yeah, exactly. So because of our pricing model, we charge by the millisecond. Okay. So we're not charging you to have a big server up and running all the time, waiting for a request to happen. When a request to your service happens, we're going to make sure that capacity is available for you. And sometimes we have to add new capacity to the system. And when we do that, it takes a little bit more time than if we have capacity ready. And that's always something we've tried to optimize to make sure that we have the best developer productivity we can. So today I'm going to be talking about a new feature called Lambda Snap Start, which takes a lot of that latency and removes it by taking a snapshot of your running Java application, storing that in our distributed cache, and then when you want to scale up, you just restart the application from that snapshot in time. So you've deployed your application has started up, all the Java just-in-time compilation has happened, and you just have peak performance straight away. And we can actually resume from snapshot in under a second. So we're really changing what is possible and what workloads can run on Lambda. So more of those workloads that developers are making can run on Lambda, and we don't have to run them on, big machines and then have to worry about the security and provisioning of those machines.
So this is very exciting. What I can think is two options. The first is you tried Lambda in Java and it was slower start, and you're like, I need to pay for the time that my JVM starts, which doesn't make sense. How about I switch to Python and then don't need to pay about it? For those people who would say, try it again. Maybe not done faster.
Absolutely.
And whoever run Lambda on Java today, what is going to happen tomorrow is that it will just become much cheaper because the startup will be faster and you will just pay less money.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're not adding any additional charge for Lambda Snap Start. So Lambda Snap Start is a free feature that you get just by using Lambda.
So that sounds like a win-win. Where do we learn more?
Yeah, so the website that I send you towards is a website called serverlessland.com, and that has a search in it. Type Lambda Snap Start, and you'll find all sorts of information about the feature and how to use it with Java.
That's exciting. All right, you all really should do that. And Mark, thank you very much for coming, for sharing those wonderful news with us. Give Java a second chance or a first chance if you never did it on AWS Lambda. You're gonna love it because it's two wonderful things. It's Java and it's serverless, so it's really a win-win. With that, stay tuned. Our next guest is already right here, so we're going to get back to you live in just a couple of minutes. Mark, thank you very much.
Bye.